weeks we are trying to solve the Tableau hands-on session. So in the past week we tried to solve the exercise using string function, logical and conditional filtering. So this week we'll have hands-on session on date function. So before going into the session, like I thought this session we can make more interactive and effective by just explaining the functions which are involved in the session before. So you guys will get to know about the function and you can give me solution or approach, like we can use this function to solve this so and so in that way. So yeah, since we are going to see about the hands-on session on date function, I'll just maybe around 5 to 10 minutes I will walk you around different date function. Then maybe each of you are who is interested can give solution to the question which we have in the hands-on session. So date function, already we have seen this, but in order to have a quick recap, I have just opened the same PPT again. So we have date add function. This date add function, what it does is it adds date to the specific part of the month, maybe like month or year, days, like that. Even if you want to subtract, maybe if you want to subtract 1 year, in that case what you have to do is we don't have any other specific function. With the date add function only, in the part of interval you have to give negative values. So if you want to add months or if you want to subtract months, for everything you have to use only this date add function. Then you might get question, what is the use of date difference function? So date difference function, what it does is, if you have two dates, maybe order date or delivery date, in order to see how many months or days or weeks in between those two dates, then we can go for the date difference function. So we will be able to see, like calculate how many weeks or months or date, whatever is between the two particular dates. And next we have date name function. If you want to extract month or year, week, whatever, so we have to use the date name function. Date part represents like which part you want to extract, and date represents the field and start of the week. It's not necessary to give, if in some case there will be essential, we have to give start of week to calculate the difference in number of weeks and all. Why I say we have to give start of week necessary, for example, assume like in the current week you are taking Friday, and next week if you are taking Monday, if you don't give start of week, what it does is it will just calculate 7 days as a week. So though its difference is of 1 week, it won't show us 1 week, instead it will show 0. So start of week is necessary to represent when we are like trying to calculate difference in the number of weeks, all those. So yeah, next we have date part function. This function returns the date part in integer form. Like when we want to calculate like last 4 weeks, we want to take difference of between the weeks. In that case, we can use date part function. So the output will be in terms of integer, and you can perform add, subtract, all those function, all those calculation using the date part function. And this is date trunc. This function, what it does is it will truncate to the specified part. So this is most useful function as well. So date trunc, date part, date start of week. So date trunc, date part. So for example, if October 17 you are truncating month, so what you will get is like earliest October month you will get. So if you want to truncate, for example, February, and if you truncate year, like whichever year it will show, that's what the use of the date trunc function. We will get the earliest part of whatever date part we give. And day function will return the day, whichever day of the date, whichever we give input. And is date similar to, we have date part in int. If you want in string format, then we can go for is date, and it will not return the date. It's a boolean type of function, logical function. It will return true if the input is like if it is, the input can be converted into date part. If not, it will return false. And make date function, if you have like year, month, date, all those in separate field, as you can see here. If you want to make it as a date, then you can use make date function and you can get the specific date. Similar to make date, even if you are more precise, and if you want more accurate about time and all, you can go for make date time function. Then similar to make date, we have make time. If you have hour, minutes and second, we can just use this and we can just take the output of time. Similarly, like if you want month of the date, we can go for month of date. And now function return what is the current date and time, everything. So these are the major functions in date. So if you have any doubts in any of these 12 function about like where to use or like about the syntax, everything, maybe we can resolve it now and we can jump onto the session. Any doubts?
So
Okay.
one quick question, Jairam.
Yeah.
So basically, see, is there, so for example, in subscription kind of a case, right, what you would do is you would want to, let's say you have a, let's say you started subscribing to something, okay, maybe your DTH or something like that. So they would charge so let's say you go for 5th of the month, right? Then they would start charging you 5th of next month, 5th of the month after, 5th of the next month, and so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
So is there any function that can, so one way is to really basically say, okay, take the same date and just increment the month, right? That is something that we can do.
Yeah.
But is there any other function that easily gives this? Specifically, if you go to, let's say, February 29th, okay, or March 31st, something like that, then what happens is you would have to do some calculation to get, you know, so March 31st means next actually should be April 30th, and the month after should be May 31st, and so on and so forth. It's the last of the month kind of thing. But is there anything that is helpful here?
Yeah, date function will help us. Like date path, if you want to add 1 month, you can just prescribe your month and interval, like how many months you want to add, 1 or 2, then the date, like whichever date you are subscribed. In that case, what it does is like it will give you exactly 1 more month or 2 more, like whichever you give in the interval and which part you want to add. If you want to year next year, then you can go with the year 1 and yeah, this function will help us in that case.
I think this is sufficient. Yeah. So in Excel, actually, there's something called eDate. E for English, DATE date. So it will do a similar thing that in Excel. We can look at this the next time we talk. We'll chat about it. Okay, great.
So yeah, then now we will go to the hands-on, which we have downloaded from Tableau conference. So here is the first challenge. Maybe I will give you 1 minute or 2. You can just read and you can come up with the solution, and any one of you can volunteer and say me. I'll try to implement. So is the time enough, or like still you need some more time?
Can you open the functions again?
Sorry, functions, okay.
Books are not allowed during the test.
I have no, we had open the exam. We used to have.
Or maybe if you want, like we can use a function there only in the date calculated field. These are the different date functions we have. So okay, let me explain the question. So the question is self-explanatory. Maybe I will just say some approach. So here, like we have to first get the last day of month. How do we get that? So here we have to get last day of month. So first, if we get date trunk and if we give the current month, we will get the earliest part of the existing month. Then if with that, if we add 1 more month, we will get the next month first day. If we subtract 1 day from that, we will get last day of the current month. Now we'll just try to execute this. So first we have to get the earliest day of this month. So earliest day, date trunk. We have to use date trunk to get to truncate whatever So here we have to truncate the month. We have to get the earliest day of month. So date part month, and what is the date? Project submission date. That's the date field here. And here there is no need for specifying the start week or something. So earliest day. So now we can see like 26 October, 28 October for everything, like earliest day is 1st October. Now we will add 1 month to the earliest day. I'll say you why we have to do that. So date add, and we have to add 1 month to the earliest day. So what is the date part? Again here it's a month. Then what is the interval 1, and what is the date earliest day? That's the date. So we have got like from 1st October, we got like next month 1st November. So if we subtract 1 day from the starting of the next month, we will be able to get the last day of the current month. So get calculated last day of the current month. Date add. Then what's the date part here? We have to subtract day. And what's the interval? -1. What is the day? Next month. So we are able to get the last day of the current month. So how can we calculate the last day of month? So we got a idea or solution like how to calculate the last day of the current month. Maybe I will say once again. So we have the current day of project submission. First you have to truncate this by month. So we will get like earliest part of the current month. This is the earliest day of current month. We got this by using date trunc function. And we added 1 to the earliest. We added like 1 in the sense by month to the earliest day. So we got next month. And now we are to do that, we have just used the date add function. Then again to get the last day of the current month. So starting of the next month -1 by day will give us the last day of the current month. So if you look at like what all function we have used here is date trunc, then date add, again date add, then again date add. So we have used these 2 functions here. For the time being, we don't need all the 3 fields which is in middle, so we can remove it. No, we need the project submission date. We can remove the earliest day and next month. So we got the last day of current month. So now we have to calculate how many days before the deadline students submitted their projects. So here we have to use the date difference function, last day of the current month minus project submission date. We have to use the date difference function. Date part is days. Start date, and this is the end date. Okay. Difference. Okay. So we have mentioned something wrong. Difference. So start date should be the project submission month, and ending should be the last day of the month, last day of the current month. So now we can see Amal has submitted on the last day and Andrew has submitted 9 days before the submission date. So based on that, they will assign some bonus marks or something, whatever they have told us in the question. So this is the first question we solved. Any doubts, or shall we move on to the next question? Okay.
One quick question, Jairam. See, when you do just a simple, difference, which is last day of the current month minus day of the project submission, what will be the output, or will it say incorrect formula? Will it give an error?
No, what it says is like it cannot subtract to date function. That's what it says. Maybe we will try last day of the current month minus
Okay.
project submission date, right? Oh,
Yeah.
the calculations. Okay, yeah, it works. Generally, in some cases, we face the issue like cannot subtract between two dates. Yeah.
So then I have one more question for you then, okay?
Yeah.
So then what if you do, see when you're calculating the last day of the current month, right?
Yeah.
So if you take the first day of the previous month, the first day of the next month, okay, minus 1, can you tell me what happens? Just do a minus 1 and let's see what happens.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
It works? Okay, so by default it's days, is it? The number plus or minus is days, is it?
Yeah. Next one. So minus 1. So we'll get
Minus
the
1.
current. Yeah, it works. By default, it will take the day. Yeah.
Yes.
If we want to subtract month, then we can go by date difference function and we can define the date part as month or week. If you want date, you can go directly.
Okay, excellent. Perfect. Great. Awesome.
Yeah, this is a second channel. So earlier we just calculated the number of days in total, but here we have to calculate only the weekdays and we have to just neglect the weekends. So maybe you can think and give some approach so I can execute maybe.
Basically, you can do the same thing, but then we'll calculate the number of weeks and days or number of weeks will minus the number of weekends.
Okay. So week difference. So date diff. Here we have to week. Then start of date is project submission date. And end will be the last day of month. And here we are supposed to mention the start of week. So it will consider. So we will get to know about the weekends. Or otherwise, for example, if a day is on Friday and in the last week and in this week, if we are taking Monday, what it does is like the 7 days didn't cover, so it will fall in the same week, and we won't be able to separate the weekends, Saturday and Sunday. So you have to mention that like week count should start with Monday. That's the need they are given like
they are asking for number of weekdays between project submission and last day of month, right? So I think we need to use weekday in other date part.
No, according to Swap, like he has given an approach like finding the number of weeks. So if we find the number of weeks, we have 2 days and we can just multiply 2 and subtract. Whatever you said, we can do that as well. Since he has told like I wanted to carry that approach. So project submission day. So this difference includes the weekend days as well. So now we have to just separate the weekends and we have to show only the weekdays. So as all of us know, each weekday will have 2 weekends. So to get only the weekdays difference, what we can do is already existing difference. That's the difference between the submission date and end date minus number of weeks into 2. So this gives us only the weekdays in difference.
So it depends on when exactly the week has started, right? So for example, if you have, let's say, 5 working days, right? Or 6 working days. So 5 working days means, so it was one complete week, right? But if you had started, let's say, on the previous Friday, for example, then you will have 1.2 weeks or something like that. Then how will it work? I'm not sure this is accurate. Just check.
I think I have a test case where it works. Let's say the date difference is 5 days. That means from Monday to Saturday. So we'll be having week as 0, number of weeks as 0. But even you are having Saturday included in that. So by this formula, we'll be getting 5. Sorry, not 5 days. Sorry. If you have 6 days from Monday to Saturday as a date difference, and in that 6 days, Saturday is included in, right? And if you use by the number of weeks, you can see 6 days, so that means 0. So 6 minus 0 into 2 is 6 again.
So here, as Akhil said, like we are mentioning the start of the week. So maybe number of weeks. So here, since we are mentioning Monday as the week starting, irrespective of the day, for example, we are starting with Friday, and like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is submitting, let's assume in that case. So since it start already, like from Friday to Sunday, it will count as 1 week, and we are giving Monday again, so it will count as like new week. So since we are giving Monday, it will count as a new week. We will get the output here as 1. So automatically, since we are multiplying it with 2, the weekend Saturday and Sunday will get subtracted and we'll get the weekdays.
I haven't understood.
So basically, Monday comes, it will start counting it as new week actually. So in that case, we will be able to subtract the weekends, multiplying it with 2. That's why like we have to mention the week starting. If you don't mention week starting, what happens is like 7 days it will consider as week, and irrespective of the day it has started, it will take first 7 days 1 week, then next 7 days second week, like that. So if you mention week starting, we can get specifically the number of weeks, like from Monday to Sunday, like that. This is how it works.
No, Jairam. So what I'm saying is, your project submission day is on Saturday. Assume that as a text case, and he submitted it on Monday.
Okay.
Then what's the difference? He submitted 6 days earlier.
Right?
Yeah. But if you see number of weeks, it's 0. Correct?
You are like any case in the screen or your own case?
Oh, that's my own case. It's not in the screen.
Okay.
Can
you repeat 1 second?
So last submission day is on Saturday, assume, right? And he submitted it project on his Monday. On Monday. So if you use that number of weeks as a day difference in week, then it will give 0, right? It's in the same week. Because Monday to Sunday is the same week.
It will consider as new week and it will take 1.
No, I submitted it on Saturday. Sorry, submitted it on Monday. Our project submission date is on Saturday.
Oh, you mean like you submitted 2 days after or before?
Before, on the same week. Right? So it says you submitted your project 6 days earlier.
Okay.
But if you see number of weeks is 0 because it's in the same week, both the days.
Okay.
If you use, if you use this formula,
it's correct. Like he has submitted Monday and it's showing number of weeks as 0. So in between, like there is no weekends, right? So Monday to Friday.
Oh, Saturday we are considering that. Project submission date is on Saturday. Last day is Saturday. Let's say.
Okay.
Right. So then we don't want to include that Saturday in.
Okay.
Right, in that
So
case,
what are you trying to?
So let me explain maybe. So what Akhil is trying to say is, let's say, see, we want to exclude if the Saturdays and Sundays if they are involved in this difference, right? So when if a person has submitted, let's say, on Saturday, okay, he from Monday, and let's say Monday is the big. He started from Monday, and in the same week he submitted on Saturday. Okay, the number of days he worked is 6 days. Okay. Yeah. So, but we should not count that Saturday as his the time that he took to complete. Yes or no? We should subtract that 1 day from that 6 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in order to subtract that the number of weekend days, what the approach that we took is we are calculating the number of weeks between the date submission date between the date differences, and we are multiplying it with 2 to get the weekend days in each week. But when we look for number of weeks from Monday to Saturday, it's not a whole complete week, so it will be written as 0 weeks. That means it will when we multiply it with 2, 0 into 2 basically 0 weekend days. That means this Saturday, which is supposed to be removed, which is not from the difference, is not getting removed. Is that what you are saying?
yes, Jagdish.
Okay. Then in that case, like we have project submission day only on weekdays, I guess. Or otherwise we can go for date diff weekdays function, and instead of date diff date parts we can declare weekday and we can subtract. So we'll just get rid of those Saturday and we'll get only the correct weekdays. That's the approach in that case. Yeah. So next we have like a bonus challenge. So we have calculated the weekdays, and from weekdays we have to calculate like how many hours. This is straightforward, like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's like 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours. So number of weekdays into 8 will give the number of hours. So yeah. Create calculated field.
Okay, what's the question? Bonus one?
A bonus one, like earlier we calculated the weekdays, and now here we are supposed to calculate like only the total hours of school time. So from weekdays we have to just calculate the school time, how much it is. So they are saying 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. that is like 8 hours. So number of weekdays into 8 will give us the number of total hours of school time. That's the weekdays difference into 8 number of working hours. This is straightforward. Yeah. So we will get number of working hours in like this. So that's all for today's session. Maybe if you have any doubts, we can discuss. In the next week, we will try to look at the relative days and relative dates and functions related to the relative dates as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.